back to Tease Time. I'm TJ. Thank you for tuning in. It's the season to get things done. All this eventually will be something. But today we're gonna work on getting our backrest situated for our bench here. I already did like the base of the bench, our face frames for the bench, our little tabletop desk for the bench. That is done. So now it's the backrest. So we get the backrest up, and once the backrest is on there attached, we can actually put the cushions down that I do have. But like the hard part with this assembly now is just kind of making it fit for the area, because there's things I have to work around. I have to work around like the wiring, the looms, and just access to our electrical in the future. So I went ahead, I already cut out all the pieces that I'm gonna need, or believe that I'm gonna need. The only thing left, I still have to do pocket holes for all of this, and then also use like the sander to get like these exactly right, or like I said, I'm gonna have to like finesse stuff into place just to make it like level, and even just working around like this seam here, so like I have to grind around like the wood and just to make it look clean. But it's kind of like being built to the space that's there. So in my head, I plan on having a flat piece. This is going to be the bottom portion of the bench or the backrest right there. And then I'll have these that will go in between to help support that. And then to do that, we're going to do, and I do have it marked. So this is behind the cushion. So this will live like so, like that. This will go like so, and then I have this piece right here that will go on top of the bench, like to blend all this stuff together. They'll be on top, and then this piece right here eventually will be like the backrest. So like for that, that's gonna need the most finessing to get that into place, because there are angles, and I want to make it kind of like somewhat seamless, like for when it's in there. So like I might have to do like a degree cut, maybe like a 45 or something, like on the edge, like right here. But luckily I do have like the circular saw guide, so like I might be able to make that happen. But like that's gonna be the hard part. I'm saving that for last. Like I might just put that in place or what, but like that's gonna be the most time consuming part of the whole little build. It's just gonna be doing that. Like the pocket holes, you see me do that before, like that's not an issue. We can get that built. I'm gonna clamp all these together. I'll call these the ribs. I'll clamp all the ribs together. I plan on clamping all these together and then using the sander. I have like a little mouse sander, just to make sure like they're all somewhat equal. Or I don't even know if I want to do that, because like it is going to be like off like the wall and stuff. Like it has like a little bit of give. So I might need to, I might actually have to cut more. But like I'm not going to bore you with the cutting or doing the pocket holes or the sanding. I'm gonna try to get everything pieced together. Then I'm gonna show like me assembling all this together, just to kind of, I don't know, I'm trying not to be like too repetitive. Like you see me do one pocket hole, you see me do them all. So I'm gonna save you on that, and then I'm just kind of trying to explain to you like to the best of my ability, like what it's taken like to get all of this stuff like finish. You know, like a lot of people like to just see like the finished product, but like this is a process to do something like this. You don't just go up to a mall and buy a built van. It takes time. So these are the different little steps that it's taken to get this done. And I'm gonna get this thing done. We're getting there. Like I keep saying that, but like I guess there's no rush at this point. But like I just want to get it done. But I guess you gotta enjoy the process. So yeah, pocket holes, sand, test fit, and get this situated so that way like the bench, and I think this is gonna be like the main like area of the van. So like once this is actually like done, like it's really at the point where that might be the hardest, this might be the hardest thing, just because of like that backrest. It's so long, so it's just making sure like getting that angle right. Like I might even need more wood, but like that's gonna be a pain. And out of the rest of the cabinets, like this might be like the tough area. So everything else should be pretty like somewhat simple. Let's not jinx jinx ourselves, but we'll get it done. But let me get this stuff situated, get pocket holes, sand, start test fitting some stuff, and then we'll get to assembling. So yeah. All right, the backrest ribs, those have been leveled out so they all like match each other. Clean that a little bit. All the ribs have been matched to blend so that they're all level. So this would be like the benchmark for the backrest to make sure that the backrest actually sits level and flush. These need to be pretty much exactly the same. With this, like I could adjust based off of those to make it fit. But these marks right here, what I need to cut around for our breaker. This is for our distribution block for like our battery cable, so I can still access that. These are just to get around wire looms. So I'm just gonna do hole saws for those just to make life a little easier. And then we just cut out those and we can start assembling like the backrest. And like I said before, like the backrest is actually gonna be like the hard part because I have to cut like an angle so it sits in there like somewhat flush, so I have to play with that. But like I want to just get this started, get that stuff cut out, and then we can continue with this. Yeah. All right, so this is what we have so far. This is going to be like the backrest, the bench, the framework. It's going to be something like so, like that, and then another board up top going across. So right now I just need to make sure and just figure out like if I need to cut out for this, because like the wall might not be like exactly straight. Because there are like different like there's wood, like when I was doing like the demo stuff, the wall on this side seemed like it was a little thicker than like this, the panels on this side, so it might be off just like a hair, but we could adjust for that. But I do have all like the cutouts, so like if I need to access all this stuff, there shouldn't be any interference issues or anything like that. We have our wires, all that stuff matches up how it's supposed to, so I'm pleased with that. So right now, I just need to actually figure out, I need to put more pocket holes in these ribs, but which one is this? That's the last one. So let's do the first one. So this is the number one. Number one is going to sit like so. And then just to clear like this piece right here, I could just come inside a little bit, because like once the backrest is on there, like you won't be able to see this anyway. Or actually, how high is this? I was thinking if the countertop was higher than the frame, the backrest, that it wouldn't matter, but like it's not. So for this, it has to go to the edge, and then we're gonna just see essentially like this. We're gonna adjust for that, but for the pocket holes that I just mentioned, I'm talking about like behind the work. There's a wall support. There's I think it's like 1/2 inch wood that runs along like the panels just to kind of give it structural, so you have something to mount like the wall panels to. So I need to figure out where to put the pocket holes on these so it matches up with the framework like that behind the wall. We just got to make sure all that matches up. So if we get that to match up, we should be good. And then like for this rib, like I could probably actually like take this like out if need be, like if it does interfere. So I have to worry about like shaving it because like it sits like that. So like I probably will be able to just get rid of that, the combining strip for the wall panel, the wall board. I can just get rid of that. But I just need to figure out where to drill the pocket holes so I can mount this going into the wall. So that way I could keep it from like actually moving and it'll just, everything is staying put. But like down at that end is just like full plywood sheets. So that's one solid piece versus this side. That's what I was saying, like the differences just are off just like a hair. Not much, but just enough. But we'll get it squared away. So right now, figure out that. And keep assembling. And I'm waiting, I'm doing the backrest like the last piece. We're saving that for last. But like we have everything like shaved. And shaved, by saying shaved, I have like all the ribs, they're exactly the same. I sanded them when I had them all like clamped together. So like that shouldn't be an issue. We should be good on that. Yeah, let me get to more pocket holes. I'm not gonna show you me doing pocket holes. Pocket holes can go on for days and months. As many pocket holes I have in this van, so like I'm not gonna bore you with that. But let me get that stuff situated and we can start getting this assembled, or we already started assembling it, but like to finish it up. So yeah. All right, so this is what we're going for. This is the main frame. I'm contemplating if I should throw like a couple more ribs in here, like one here, like probably a total like 3 more. But like the cushions, how they should sit, like this should be the center of each cushion. That's how I have it like spaced out. So like when you actually sit down, like you'll be sitting on the rib should be supporting it, because like the cushions are split up like right here. So like you shouldn't be sitting like probably in the center of the cushion anyway. But like I'm not too sure if I want to make like another 3 to fill in those holes, or just to make it a little safer, just to be on the safe side. Yeah, I could do that. I'll think on that. But I just have to mount like this top piece right here, and I do probably need the space for that right there, the little wall panel board dividers or connectors, just to make sure there's space. Like if I mount it, like if I plan on getting it like flush to the wall, I'll need to clear for that right here. But yeah, so right now I need to figure out that. Do I want more ribs? Do I need to cut like the main backrest piece. Actually, I need to get that situated. But like I was saying, I was saving it for last just because just use like a regular piece of wood, because like when you fit it in, like there's like an angle, like if you don't want like to see like that little gap right there, like I'll have to angle it so it sits like flush. So I have to angle there, and then also up top just a little bit to make like that flush. Like if anything, I could probably just use the sander and just like sand that down. Like it'll take a long time, but like I can get that flush like that. But like the main thing is just worrying about that angle right there. So if anything, cut the board probably a little bit longer so it leaves room to adjust the angle. But yeah, that's gonna be a little bit, so we're gonna be back once I get that situated, and then I'll show you that assembled and on there. But yeah, that's like the most difficult part is getting that the angle correct on that, so it looks nice, it looks professional. So yeah, stay tuned. All right, so I'm back with the backrest. I went ahead and I got the angles situated for the backrest, the part that I thought was going to be pretty difficult. It wasn't too difficult. What I did, I just went and I used like some scrap wood that I have like right here, and I just did like a bunch of like test cuts to get the angles that I would need. And then once I had like that perfected, and then like I would just test it onto the backrest, the frame of the backrest against the ribs. Once that fit correctly, then I went and I transferred those measurements over to like the 8-foot long cuts. So I didn't like mess up the long piece of cut. Like it's easy just to mess up on scrap. You could just throw that away. So it's just trial and error, just getting the circular saw like to the correct angle. But like once I had that figured out, it was pretty simple. So right now I have like the frame, it's sitting outside. I don't know if you see it with the brightness out there, but like I'm just gonna put everything together, and then for the backrest piece, the long piece, I'm just gonna like put it up against it because on the inside of the frame there's like the mounting holes, the pocket holes I drilled that I'm gonna need to secure and mount. So I need to figure out exactly how, or at a later date, I'm gonna do that on my time for like the long 8-foot piece. But I'm gonna just show you how I have everything blended. So I'm gonna like use clamps to get it on there, just so I know where the top plate, how that's supposed to sit, and then I just use like the little mouse sander that I have just to like blend everything together, because I just want like all the edges and seams to come together like nice, so there's like you don't see like the end of the plywood, you don't see like that, everything just kind of like comes together flush like a finished piece. So yeah, let me just actually I should show you better than I could tell you, but let me get that assembled, or actually like get it like mocked up how I want it to be assembled, and we shall go from there. Yeah. All right, and this is what I'm going for, just for like all these seams to be like somewhat flush. I'm gonna mount it like that. There's like a gap, like you won't see the edges, and on the back there's just like a little bit of gap. This is to clear like the window seal like on the far end, but like I could put finishing strip like right here just to kind of like fill in any voids or whatever, so you won't even like see this. Even when it's mounted on the wall, you probably won't even notice it. But like the important part was just getting like these seams correct. So I'm gonna just fix it into place, and like there's that gap. When I tighten it into place or screw it down, like it should be fine like that. And then once this is like mounted and screwed, like I'll use the sander to like clean the edges up even more. And then the bottom gap also is nice and smooth, and like it's where I want it. So I'm pleased with this. I'm gonna go ahead and just start assembling. And we already have like our pocket holes and everything right there, so I'm gonna just use wood glue and then finish it up with pocket holes, and this will be finished for this video. So let me get that going, and actually I'm gonna just go ahead and start screwing everything together, and then just gonna throw it back into the van. And bada boom bada bang, it's somewhat finished. It's somewhat installed, and I'm somewhat gonna probably just call it for this video for the backrest. I'm gonna leave it like where it is right now. I did get everything mounted how I wanted it. I did add like some spacers in between right here just to get the gaps correct, just so like this back panel right here will sit flush and where it needs to be. But like I still need to assemble the cabinet where the sink will live, like right there. So leaving this like not fully like mounted all the way just leaves me room to adjust like side to side and just like to play with it. And then when I do go and like mount it to the wall, like I could just kind of like how the wall is probably like angled a little bit, like if it bows, you could just adjust like the screws by, you know, just screwing it in more or taking it out just to kind of give it like the slack to make sure it's straight for the backrest section. But let me actually get the backrest section just to show you just how like the lines, like they do line up. They're off like a little bit, but it's good how it is. But let me grab that and show you before we close out this video. So hold on a second. So that is how eventually look, and that's how it's gonna live. Eventually we're gonna get there. I'm not gonna show you like me finishing doing like the mounting and stuff like that. Like I have to find and line up everything for like these individual planks also. They're gonna be screwed in from the inside of that, and then for like this top panel, like to get it like mounted, like I probably just glue or do whatever, but like I'll handle that at a different date, and I'm not gonna bore you with like covering like that part. But hold on a second. And like I said, like I might need to like do like another set of like reinforcement like ribs to go in between, so that way like if you do send a center, it has something to support it. What I can do, like I'm also just leaving it open for like improvements if need be, or I could do corrections. I could put like straight pieces going across instead of having to like get these matched, because I did like line all the ribs up together and sanded them down so that they're equal. So I could just do like single planks going across just to kind of get a little bit more structural integrity. Yeah. So that'll be like later. So like this is finished for now, just so we have it like in place, and just like trying to get like all the pieces like assembled. Like the last part of putting this together is just like mounting it, which shouldn't be like too difficult. So like you don't really need to cover like simple stuff like that. But yeah, it covers, it has gaps, rooms, everything's accessible still. So that's cool. So thank you for tuning in once again. I do appreciate it. Don't forget to like, subscribe. If you have any like comments or even suggestions, leave them in the comments. Like I'll love any suggestions, just to try to make my life a little easier. But until next Wednesday, it's all about integrity. Peace, DJ.